This is episode 182 of the Break 80 podcast. Stouds here. It is one of, if not the greatest week of the year. Here to talk through it all. Top 100 Tim, back this time from Virginia, and short-sighted Mike. Happy Masters Week, gentlemen.
Oh, it is spring. I can confirm, not here in Minnesota, but in Virginia. The tulips are blooming. The trees are budding. It is green as can be. But here comes back the depression. Managed only by the fact it's Masters Week.
Well, it's green in Augusta, Georgia, too.
What do you mean depression? It's going to be 60 degrees here tomorrow. Calm down.
Momentarily. It was 80. 80.
Too hot.
You would have never survived one of those battles.
Tiger would be sweating balls in 80.
Be sweating balls in 60.
So, well, we have lots of Masters stuff to cover. Looking forward to talking that. One of my favorite weeks of the year. But we did have another tournament last weekend, the Valero Texas Open. I think we'll touch, quickly on that, and as we, maybe lube up a little bit to get ready for the big finish here at the Masters Talk. But any takeaways from the Valero? We saw that a little JJ Spaun has been not playing very good golf. But did you know that JJ Spaun is currently, I think he's 5th in the world?
5th.
How is that possible? What has he done in the last year? I know he won.
Well, he just won. He was second.
I get that, but was he that? Did he make that big of a jump?
Last year he won the U.S. Open.
Second at Players.
He was second at the Players.
Okay.
So, he said this year he missed a lot of cuts. So, but he got to win again. So it's like if you've noticed with the OWGR, other than Scotty and Rory, it's kind of volatile. If you're 15th or 20th and you win, you're vaulting all the way up to 5, like JJ Spaun did. There's a lot of guys bunched in really close in points, other than the top 2. So there's a lot of movement all the time with that. If one of those guys kind of wins, like Cam Young didn't even win last week, I think, or whatever. He went up to 3rd from 4th or whatever it was without even doing anything, I think. So, or a few weeks ago, or whatever it was. So there's a lot of movement there.
Do they get any points for being in the Ryder Cup at all?
No.
Nothing. Okay. Because JJ Spaun, obviously the last we heard from was the US Open, and he did take second, but that was, we're going past a year, a year ago, when that happened. That's well over a year at this point now, because the Players was a couple weeks back. So I was just curious there, but yeah,
here's his results this year. Sony T40, Farmers cut, Pebble Beach T45, cut at the Genesis, cut at the Arnold Palmer, T24 at the Players, cut at the Valspar, wins the Texas Open.
See, that's where it's just, it's
but
wild.
If you go back to, if you go back to last year, though, at the end of the year, he, took T4 at the Hero.
Okay. Well,
took 6th at the Procore, 2nd at the FedEx St. Jude, won the U.S. Open, 2nd at the Players. So he's still living off some of those last year too.
St. Jude has a lot of folks in it too. That's going to be a power pack.
Yeah. That was the one with playoff with Justin Rose. Okay, that's right. He was in that one. Yeah. Okay, I'll take that back. I apologize, JJ Spaun. I just didn't envision you being 5th in the world, but you've earned it. So good for him. Actually, he earned a win this last week because he played some good ball down the stretch. We got some interesting weather. It was a little rainy in Texas, very windy in Texas. Any takeaways from the week?
Oh, I have a bunch. First of all, does anybody in this world hate? I don't know. We don't know JJ Spaun. He's probably a good dude. But does anybody hate him more than Bob McIntyre, Big Shot Bob? Big Shot Bob had a chance at the Valero. He ended up T2nd. He was also 2nd at the U.S. Open behind JJ Spaun. He's the bridesmaid of JJ Spaun.
JJ Spaun's B, as they might say.
Yeah. I have
play better. It's not like anyone ran away with this on Sunday.
No, well, the weather was actually, so the first 2 days were nice and the course was really easy. Bob McIntyre was 14 under through 2 rounds.
15, I think.
Or where he finished at 16. So it finally, Tim's prediction of the wind and the weather finally showed up on the weekend.
Nostradamus. All right, it did pay off.
But here's one just egregious to me. that this happened. Bob McIntyre, I think you guys were both gone, so you weren't watching. I was watching this. He needs to birdie 18, which is actually a legit par 5. Like, there were not a lot of birdies at 18. Guys were hitting it in the water all over the place because of the wind. And he hits a good drive. He's in the fairway. He's got the 3-wood out, because he needs a birdie. And it's windy. The caddy holds up his phone and does like a wind app, checking the wind direct. I don't know. Apparently phones can do that now. They can check the wind direction and everything. Which to me, I was watching. I was like, must be legal. I mean, they got a person in the group, I'm sure that's official, but I know you can't do that like majors and stuff. That was supposed to be a regular PGA Tour thing. But then, of course, he double crosses the 3-wood and just yanks it 50 miles right. But then, of course, he got TIO from the grandstands that actually gave him a pretty good look, and then he left it, hit on the green, but had a long birdie putt and missed it.
Is this a par 5 you could reach, Mike?
Yeah, but doesn't mean that I would. But theoretically, I could. Yes, of course. If it's under 600 yards, I can get there. No, I don't know. Maybe it depends. But these guys are having trouble getting there. So yeah, what do you think? Using your phone, is caddying becoming a lost art of just knowing the wind direction and knowing where the wind is, or at least smoke a heater like Fluff and get some actual visuals?
Somewhat yes, somewhat no. I think it shifts. I think the caddy role has shifted immensely into more of the head game and headspace of the players than it really does about the course itself, because you now have a traveling caddy when previously you would pick them up at each course as you went. So they would have some course knowledge about prevailing wind, about greens, about breaks, about maybe nuances of the course. And now they're sending their own caddy out onto the course for the few days where other players are doing their practice rounds, where the player is likely doing their practice rounds and scouting after, to pick up and learn those nuances on the fly. So I think every job kind of ebbs and flows a bit, but I will admit, especially when rangefinders inevitably get put into bags for these soft tour pros, they're going to lose yet another piece of the art of the game.
Yeah, eventually we're going to have slope on the rangefinders, usable probably on the PGA Tour.
Well, I don't know, like what happened to the old trick of just looking at the flag stick and seeing?
Yeah, or like I tell high school kids, when you see the flag moving, like a U.S. flag or something, or somewhere up by the clubhouse, take a marker on the course map and draw some arrows in the direction it's moving. It's not that complicated.
It's a huge clubhouse too, and that clubhouse likely had flags on it. I mean,
yeah.
You're finishing next to the clubhouse, next to the hotel. It's not in an isolated area by any means. Just take a look at what's whipping through there, because it likely is at some huge mile per hour as they finished.
So that was my first thought. I thought it was kind of weird. Here's my next one. I think Tim might have a new favorite golfer. Like, he might eclipse Brooks or whoever the hell you're gonna, Patrick Reed, whoever the hell else you're gonna love off Live, whatever. I don't know. We'll say Mito. He retired. Mito Pereira retired.
You got a new villain for me?
You're 0 for 3. Like Brooks not on the Live anymore.
Oh yeah, no more Live guys. Well, new PGA Tour guy. Here we go. So Rio hits that Tune. Good player. Besides his sake drinking, I know Tim likes him for that.
Straight out the bottle, baby.
Tim, you did not see this at all?
No, I didn't get a chance to watch. We were playing 36 one day, and then we had our own time in the wind and the rain.
Tim is going to love this, although it might be the softest relief ever. But he got relief from fire ants on Sunday.
They're everywhere, Mike.
Fire ants. He got relief from ants. I knew Tim would take advantage of that. I know he would. So
absolutely.
What is this? A school for ants? Come on.
He took relief from fire ants during a PGA Tour event, and they gave it to him.
Exceptional relief, Rule. Those things bite. I mean, why put yourself at risk? You're a high-level athlete.
Oh my God.
Why put yourself at risk when relief is an option?
How many ants does it take to get relief? Do they gotta get
I don't know.
20? What's the minimum?
Like a smattering of ants. I don't know. A few. 3 or 4.
I have no idea, but I know he got relief from fire ants. And my last one, the 17th hole. I mean, listen, we've talked about holes like Oakmont had the par 3 that was 300 yards. And I said, it's just a number, it's just a number. And I'll say the same thing again. It's just a number. It's just a par 4. But this par 4 is, when it was soft, was so ridiculously easy. They had a group. They're playing in threesomes because they just, they had to finish Saturdays around in the morning, so they just kept going. There was one group that had a combined score on a par 4 of 6. They all made 2s. 3 eagles on a tribal par 4. They were hitting drivers that were hitting the green, and literally, it was like a wedge, just stopping on a dime. Absolutely ridiculous. PGA
These guys
Tour.
are good, Mike. These guys are good.
What is more Texas than that? Come on.
They are
big
good.
plays.
It was
Big plays
so
in Texas.
ridiculous. There were so many. Big Shot Bob made an eagle to keep him in the game on 17. There was so many. There was like 10 eagles on Sunday on 17.
Could you ask for a better 17th hole? You're coming down the stretch. You're a couple holes behind, or a couple strokes behind. Massive way to make up.
Well, I think if you remember last year with Novak, it was downwind, so it was actually kind of a hard shot for those guys to hold the green. He went long, and then he snubbed that chip coming back. So when it's firm, I think it's fine, but it was so soft. Every player just ripping it up there somewhere, chipping it right next to the hole, making birdie or eagle if they made the putt and going to the next hole.
Yeah.
Those are my only Valero observations.
Yeah, and Valero does its job. I mean, it kind of, what I find interesting at the Valero is, can you pick out guys that are trying to just maybe get an early exit to get to Augusta a little bit quicker? I mean, some of these guys, Sepp Straka, what are you doing on Friday? It just looked like you didn't want to participate.
Yeah, well, I know when they had the weather delay and all that, the pros that were playing Augusta basically said, we are playing this on Sunday or we will just withdraw. They're like, we're not going to go till Monday on Masters week. That's not happening.
No, they want to get to property.
Yeah.
I mean, so you get a couple of rounds and get a competitive rounds in, and maybe the guys that are searching to be in contention a little bit. I think there's some certain guys that have not been in contention in a while that could maybe pull something from that. But most of these guys are, if I'm not playing lights out, get me to Augusta.
It's too bad Raitan's not in the Masters because he's trending, my boy. He's T10.
I gotta find her. Is he for sure not in the Masters?
I don't think he's top 50 in the world, is he?
He might be. He might actually be.
He might be. Maybe one of those wins he got last.
I thought he made the Masters.
Maybe one of those wins last year. Maybe I haven't looked. I haven't really dug into it too much, but maybe that win last year, one of those wins in the DP got him in.
I think he actually. I saw him on there. I thought so. Maybe you have to. We'll do a Masters draft later today, and maybe Mike picks that.
Probably not, but
how big is he your boy? I mean, that's
the Nordic. He's only one of my boys. I got 2 main boys on tour, and then I got a couple, that are like
baby boys.
Christopher Raitan,
half brothers.
8:50 a.m. time on Thursday.
What's his world ranking? Is he top 50? I gotta look this up.
I mean, he did pretty well on the.
Well, he won a bunch of events on DP, and one of those might have been an Open that got him in the Masters.
I believe he won or placed high at one of the Opens.
He's 46 too, by the way. In the
then top 50 get in the world. Then if he was in a couple weeks ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So that's what got him in, probably.
Well, there was another tournament. We're gonna get the Masters here, but there's another tournament, the ANWA.
Oh, just tragic, just absolutely tragic at the ANWA. My God.
Major Jordan Spieth vibes. Yeah, I think I caught the last maybe 6 holes coming down the stretch. I was writing an article and I tuned in, so I caught the end of it. It wasn't all that close. I mean, after we had a little bit of a mess, to get some separation there. But Mike, when you watched it, our girl Asterisk.
Yep.
What happened?
I mean, probably. There might be somebody else, but probably maybe the best amateur women's player in the world right now. She's been, she's really good. And, well, I don't even know how to put this, but it was a complete explosion. Yeah. She had went 40, God, how many holes was it? 46 holes without a bogey. She did not have a bogey for the tournament.
At Augusta.
No, they play Champions Gate. They play Champions, whatever it is. They play a different course the first 2 rounds.
Champions Retreat twice. And then Augusta to finish.
She was bogey free and then she was bogey free on the front 9 at Augusta, parred 10. Then she gets to 11 and she makes a bogey. And then 12 was just a disaster. I mean, first of all, we've talked about this in previous years, and we'll talk about it probably in the pod later. 12 might be, and maybe you guys have a different hole, but one of the hardest holes in the world to figure out the win and get the right club. You see guys going short, the year that Tiger won, all those guys imploded, hit in the water. You see people going long into the flowers. You got stuff going on that hole. Well, she goes long into the back bunker, which not a good spot, because then her first bunker shot, it's not a terrible bunker shot, but it's running downhill. She hits it into the water. It just keeps going into the water. And then I think she made a mistake. Were you watching this, Jeff?
I like I said, I tuned in maybe the last 4 holes.
Instead of going out, she could have went out to the fair, the other side of the water to the fairway and drop it there and come uphill. She chose to drop in the bunker again, hit the same bunker shot. Well, when you drop a bunker, when you drop a ball knee height in that very soft sand, it doesn't bounce out of its hole. It was just, she had a partial fried egg off of her drop and hits it in the water again. Now she finally goes back to the other side of the water and takes a quad. She finally, she took a quad, and then she followed that up with like another bogey. I mean, she was a train wreck on the back. On hole, was it 16? One of those holes, she airmailed it by like 8 miles. I mean, she hit it so far over the green. It was insane. So yeah, I don't know, a complete implosion. I mean, she went from being up to losing by like 6 shots. So yeah, that's too bad, but I'm sure she'll bounce back. She's really talented.
Sounds like, I've heard that before. Tim, after he shoots 98, he's really talented. He'll
Whoa. That 98 was bad all the way through. It was an entire implosion the entire day.
In Tim's defense, it was blowing like 40 miles an hour, and that golf course is narrow and tight. But that was comical.
Well, I was just out to have a good time that day. That's all. Score was irrelevant. Maybe I should get that one in the gin, though.
But yeah,
get Yip Strickler on me.
Yeah, Marin won the ANWA. Is she Mexican, I think?
Yeah, steady players. Just steady, solid. Good. Very solid. Steady.
Razorback. Arkansas Razorback.
Same as Maria Fossey, the first ANWA winner, right? She was there, I think, watching.
Well, this is going to transition. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
No, there's one more big event at a place that we've played. Laura Coughlin wins by a mile.
Shadow Creek, yeah.
A mile at Shadow Creek, playing firm, fast, and a little bit windy.
Yeah, Shadow looked good. Looked in good shape. Well, it's always in good shape.
It actually played very similar to a major. I mean, they had a hard time. Like Nelly Corder made 1 birdie the last round. It was hard to get it close. It was hard to get up and down. It was firm, like you talked about. It was hard to get anything to hold greens. So it definitely played. I watched that probably more than anything this last weekend. It's good timing. It was on at more prime time, evening-ish. So yeah, I actually enjoyed watching that.
Yeah, great timing on TV. Fantastic course to watch. No one finished as strong as I did out there, though. No birdie finish.
Yeah, Coughlin, she's had a nice little resurgence the last couple of years. She was almost going to give up the game a few years back.
Yeah, what a story. Had dropped down to a secondary tour and then fought her way back, and now top 20 in the world.
Yeah, she's
women's golf ranking at one of the highest purses in women's golf outside of the majors.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's transition that. I was going to transition from that to I know we were just ANWA. I was going to talk about, as we get kind of to Masters here, I want to talk about the golf course first, because I have some shocking statistics that kind of talk about the golf course. Then we'll talk about the kind of player that plays well there, because I think out of any tournament, this is one of the most predictable.
It is very predictable. Yeah,
very, very predictable on the kind of player that wins here. But let's start with a couple of statistics from last year's tournament and kind of data that we gained. First of all, the driving distance in 2025 was the highest ever recorded average at 302 yards. So distance last year was the most they've ever seen. Because of the few hazards and the second widest fairways that they play in, it led to a 72% driving accuracy measure. So that, we know that Augusta's known for pretty wide, generous fairways.
I think the tour average is like 50 roughly, isn't it? Something like that, 50%.
Yeah, and it was the toughest annual course to gain on approach. Now, we've had John Ellis on the podcast. We've talked about, he picked iron play as his biggest asset there.
You got to hit the little quadrants on the greens, or otherwise it funnels to other weird spots.
Golfers are losing an average of negative 0.08 strokes on each approach inside 150 yards. So even when you've hit the ball decent and you're inside 150 yards, that doesn't mean much at Augusta National still. You still have some work left to do. Let's see. Specific angles to tricky pin positions on firm greens are key. Even with non-penal rough, errant drives in the wrong spot lead to the lowest green and regulation rate when missing the fairway at 38.3%.
Yeah, I mean,
so even when you miss the fair, like if you miss the fairways, I know we talk about it's fairly open. You've got some pine stuff, but you're not hitting the green just about 1 out of every 3 holes.
Well, and there's really not much rough. There's a little bit, but it basically goes almost fairway to pine, to pine straw and woods. And a lot of those, it depends on the hole, right? Like Rory hit that amazing one out of the woods with the 9-iron, and then he hit the one on 15 also, the hook. But some of those, if you hit it in there, you got the water in front of some of the greens. Like 11. If you hit it into the right trees on 11, you're probably not trying to hit a punch shot to the green. I mean, Rory almost rolled it into the water last year, so you almost are purposely missing the green. Even there's guys with that front pin that will miss the green on purpose, just try to chip and get up and down. So it's tricky greens and pin locations.
And there's even more. The most difficult course to gain strokes around the green, mostly due to golfers losing an average of 0.11 strokes per every short grass chip. So even if you're in the short grass, around the greens, the shave downs and stuff like that, it can still be very difficult. It's the toughest course to gain strokes putting. Now we've had that talk.
Yeah, because it's like a lag putting tournament, basically.
Yep. This is interesting. Putting splits get progressively more difficult each foot away from the hole, leading to a 3-point percentage of 4.34. Hardest par 4s by a large margin, and has the 4th toughest par 3s. I mean, you think about
makes sense.
It's hole 4. That's a long iron into a tough spot.
12, we've talked about 12.
12 has had its moments, right? I think 16, depending on pin spot, can be one
Depends
of your
if you miss the
ones.
ridge.
If you miss the ridge,
I mean,
there's some 3 putts that happen there if you miss the ridge.
I think any of the pin locations below the ridge are fairly easy. They get that going. They spin. Yeah. It's that back right pin. That whatever day they do the back right one, that's a tough one.
Saturday usually.
Because if you miss that right, that's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, actually, last year they had it back right on Sunday because Rory hit it fairly tight back there and missed it. But and then the last thing, must score on the par 5s, which have a birdie or better rate of 30, almost 40%.
Yeah, they're gettable.
So those are where you need to make your hay, par 5. So that's just a little bit about the golf course. Now, let's talk about some of these. If you're thinking about picking certain guys, you got to stop betting guys that are not good at golf. Because as we look at this, I'll give you some statistics.
I mean, I think they're all good at golf, aren't they? They're playing in the Masters.
Well, I mean, we're talking elite, non-elite players you do not want to bet on. Because, for example, let's just go last 10 years. I think that's just kind of the easiest instead of a history. Last 10 years. 10 out of the last 10 winners were top 25 in the world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you go back 20, then it's just a slew of who knows who.
I know. Well, we're just going modern.
You got a whole decade of just odd names up on that leaderboard for a long time.
Not to get out derailed. Who are the worst Masters winners in the last 20 years? Obviously, Zach Johnson.
Trevor Immelman.
He's got 2 majors. Zach Johnson has 2 majors.
Yeah, I know, but because of weather in both instances. But
he's a grinder.
But
and he kills it at the John Deere, right, Tim?
yeah, you could argue Cam Smith. He won the Players and he won the Open and did he win the Masters? No, he got second in the Masters. He never won
the Masters.
Second. But yeah, what am I talking about? He lost.
Danny Willett.
Danny Willett's got to be up
Mike
there.
Weir.
Charles Schwartzel.
Mike Weir, yep. So there's a few that pop in there here and there.
Jordan Spieth.
I feel like, though, going back to what Jeff was talking about. Yeah, I feel like going back to it. But by the way, he got T63 this week at Valero, so he's prime for the Augusta. But I did say he has a better chance to win at Augusta than Valero. But going back to Jeff's distance thing with driving distance, the weather looks great, like 71, 76, 83, 84. So they're gonna have that place dried out. I think that eliminates the guys like Mike Weirs and the Zach Johnsons. Those are guys that need to be grinding and get some weather and some wind and stuff. I think that'd be my call. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
All right, 8 of the last 10 were top 15, so we're getting even more elite. And then 6 of the last 10 were top 10. So like we're getting, you've got to be, if you're putting your eggs in a basket, pick a good player. 8 of the last 10 winners. Age is a factor. 8 of the last 10 were between the ages of 27 and 36. Tiger and Scotty Tim, are you in that age range?
What an irrelevant stat, though. That's what all the players are in outside of some of the old guard. That's the entire competitive.
Tim. There's a lot of guys that are younger than 27 that are good at golf.
A few have not even amassed the points or the rankings, the status to even get invited to this tournament yet. Right? Those are complete outliers. You're naming the most common golf ages for professional golfers right now. Of course, they're in that range.
27 to 36. They talk a lot about success knowing the golf course. Well, that's going to be a part. There's a lot of golfers that are outside of this range. Don't make me count them up because I bet I could name quite a few that do not fit the 27 to 36 category that are playing in the tournament.
Akshay?
Adam Scott. I mean, you could go Adam Scott.
Oh, Adam Scott's not in contention.
So, well, I got one for you. El Pato.
El Pato's not in contention. It's more likely to go back to jail than he is to win the Masters.
So that's just, we're not done yet. We're just rifling, basically narrowing this thing down, Tim. That's what we're working on, okay? I haven't finished.
I appreciate the other
0 of the last 10 winners were just making their debut. So you're not going to just show up and win your first time.
Oh, Christopher Wrightan might have something to say about that.
9 of the last 10 had at least 3 Masters starts. So now we're kind of picking at, you need to play this course. 7 of the last 10 had 5+ starts. All right. Now, here's the next thing. No one really finds it. Nobody just all of a sudden just finds their game.
You got to be playing okay.
Okay. 10 of the last 10 winners had made the cut in their last start. 9 of the last 10 had a top 10 in their last 3 that they played in. And 9 of the last 10 had multiple top 10s that you're entering Augusta. So let's talk that you're going to have show some form. You're not going to get a random JJ Spaun, who hasn't made much noise winning like he did this week. And then the other thing, past success at Augusta, which is massive because 9 of the last 10 winners made the cut the year before. 8 of the last 10 had a prior top 10 at the Masters. But here's an interesting one. 0 of the last 10 were defending champions, does that eliminate Rory?
Maybe. And he has not been playing great either.
With a little bit of a back issue. So we're okay. And then the last thing, recent winning experience. So winning matters. 8 of the last 10 winners had already won that season or that fall season. Okay. 10 of the last 10 were top 30 in strokes gained tee to green. And then 10 of the last 10 winners had played and won at least once in the United States that year. So American golf. So there's just a lot of this narrows it down. You got to be playing well. You have to show some form at Augusta. You have to have the winning mindset, like just not winning in 5 years and showing up and trying to win in Augusta is probably not in the cards. And it really kind of narrows down the kind of golfer that can play well this week. So with that being said, I thought we'd do a little player draft now that you know the keys.
I got my first pick locked up.
And so that's what I was wondering. Mike, do you want we'll snake this?
Sure,
I guess
I'll take one because I got my guy.
Okay, Mike will take 1, Tim 2, me 3. Now we are snaking. Tim, do you want 3 and want to wheel back around, or do you want 2?
Oh, it doesn't. I don't think you're touching my players. I don't think you got this on the
Yeah,
list.
he's got to have. Who is in the field from Liv? Let's see. He wants Bryson. He wants Rom. Anyway,
Stay away from my boys.
So
all
Mike,
right?
you write this down, and then what we'll do is we'll just kind of we'll mark up.
We go on prize money. Most total prize money.
You could do that. Yeah, because then you just miscut. You just get $0.
Yep.
We'll add up the prize money. The prize money shows up on the.
All right. Well, I got a guy who just so happens he doesn't quite hit your 27 range. He's 26 years old. He just so happens his last 3 events, a T3 at the Arnold Palmer, T5 at the Players, T5 at Valero.
I know.
He also, in the last 2 years.
None of those are wins.
Yep. Just hear me out. The last 2 years at Augusta, he's only played this event twice. He's never finished outside of the top 7. In his 2 times, he's got a 2nd place and a 7th place. He's also a spectacular iron player. He's also one thing we didn't talk about. He hits it very high. Huh?
Is he pretty good looking?
He's a good looking dude. Doesn't say a lot. My boy, Ludwig. This is the year. Now, I will say I have a little bit of an issue with my pick here because he has not shown the greatest ability to close this year.
He's a tough closer.
What a blown load of a pick. That's way too early in the draft.
I've heard Jeff say a few swear words about my boy this year on the weekend.
I don't swear.
But I'm going with my boy this year, Ludwig.
Okay, Luddy, I like that pick. I think he's going to be steady. I don't know if he'll find what it takes to win down the stretch, but I think he'll be in the mix.
He has played 8 rounds at Augusta. You want to know what his worst round ever is?
69.
73.
He's never shot worse than 73 in those 8 rounds. He's averaging like 70. He's just steady, good player out there. And he's, and the shaky putter is not as important sometimes at Augusta. So we shall see.
All right, Tim, you're up.
Oh, thank God.
Now remember, Tim, you can pick any. I guess I should have said this. We can't pick the top 3 golfers in the world. We're going to pass them. So no Scotty, no Rory, and no Cam Young.
I could have had a complete family affair if Cam would have been.
I love the fact that Wagger has thrown out my boys from their silly ranking systems. They disregard.
Wagger, you're picking amateurs? Holy cow!
Sorry, the World Golf.
Well, this guy's really going on a limb.
Yeah. First time show. We're gonna go to a guy with 2 wins this year.
The DP will too.
A big ball hitter.
I know where he's going.
No, there's going to be multiple gentlemen on this list with 2 wins.
Liv. He's got Liv.
Go Bryson then.
Yeah.
I'm going Bryson. The man bold enough to dig up the Augusta sign. The man in the final group last year. The man bound for greatness.
Who imploded in the final group last year, by the way.
We all make mistakes. He's there to win this year.
Are you concerned that
I'm almost never concerned.
Under pressure, the hard left ball comes with the irons? Are you concerned about the hard pull?
Here's the thing. Hard left ball goes with the driver too. Rumors on a couple holes that storm thinned out those trees even more. I have full confidence that he will find a way through those Augusta pines.
The scientist is gonna find angles to try to slide it through the woods, or what?
You're damn right.
I mean, he is playing great. He's playing well right now on Liv.
2 wins. 2 wins on Liv. Yep.
He's played very well. So I would assume he's got.
He had to go head to head with Richard T. Lee. I think he's ready for Augusta.
Yeah. The crucible of pressure on Liv with Richard Lee.
Well, I hate to see this, Mike, but I'm actually going to be drafting a Liv guy next.
No,
Rambo.
I gotta go Rambo. I mean,
Rambo.
he's won it there once before. He's playing, for Liv standards pretty well. I don't know. I have much more to say than that. I mean, he's a top 3 player in the world by all accounts. Hasn't had a great major record over the last year or so, but I think he's ready to make some noise this year. And I'm going to go Rom. The second guy I'm going to go with also has 2 majors. Some would say that, my buddy Javi has kind of put a I don't know, curse on him at some sort.
I'm already writing it down.
Yeah, you give me my boy Xander because he's going to be making his 9th start at the Masters, and he has been extremely consistent. He's finished inside the top 10 5 of the past 7 years. He hits a high ball. He can shape it both ways if he needs to. He's unflappable. He doesn't really ever look too up or too low. He's won 2 majors. There's just a lot to like about him. I think he's got a top 3 at the Players Championship. I think that's one of my worries is he hasn't really, won recently. So I need to get him over that hump, but I think he has elite game, and I want to see him use it this week. I want to see him put it to the test. So I think a green jacket will look good in Xander.
I think if under these same rules, if you put a gun to my head and I had to pick one person to win or die, I might go Xander this week. He's playing pretty well. He plays well at Augusta. He's got a great overall game. I think he'll do well. He's kind of trending.
Jeff, I'm just proud of you that you came over to the live side, your first pick right out of the gate.
I mean,
you joined the other team.
It's a hard one to screw up there. I think any normal person would have picked John Rahm, but that's beside the point. All right, Tim, you're up.
Well, I'm going back to the well of people that have won twice already this year. We pick winners on this team exclusively, and this one just happens to wear a puka shell necklace on occasion, and as discussed over our group chat, crazy wife. Gotta love him. He's got the best hands, the best short game in the world, and that plays a major factor. Not you, Mike. Not you.
I thought you were talking about yourself. Whoa. Great
yeah. Second pick on the board, though, is Patrick Reed. 2 wins already this year. Maybe the best player coming out of a foreign tour.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. I think he had an interview and talked about how he was just hungry to get back into actual competitive golf. I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
I did.
He is basically declaring live not very competitive. Yeah. He goes, this is what gets me excited. This is what makes me enjoy golf. Like this kind of preparation and behind it, all that stuff. So I think he's a good guy to have in these golf tournaments because he's got a little villainesque to him. And I might be rooting for the guy to at least get in contention and see what he does. Cause he's pretty classic for things on the golf course and off the golf course.
Yeah. Is it my turn?
Right. You got 2, Mike.
Let's see if I take Jose Maria Olazabal. No, I'm actually going through the list right now to see.
He's been ripping golf balls on the range. That might be one of the best things ever is how many range balls guys hit. I think he was 3rd most like yesterday or something like that. Hopefully his back holds up.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. I'm going to go with I got a few guys here. My team could end up being completely international. There's a possibility. First guy, gosh, who do I want to take? I got 3 guys here, and I know 2 of them are going to be gone. All right, I'm going to go Justin Rose. He's got 3 seconds in this tournament, made 17 of 20 cuts. So, since we're going money, I'm going to say he's going to make the cut, hopefully, and do well. My other guy, golly, I suppose do we have any clarity on Morikawa's back injury? He was playing so well.
I don't think it's back.
I read a tweet that says he was like averaging on the range like 272 off the tee or something.
Yeah, we're not picking that.
Sounds normal. That sounds normal.
He wasn't giving it full gas.
No, he can hit it farther than that. Okay. Well, my third pick, I'm going to go, golly, I got 2 guys right by each other here. Either guy that I don't take is going to get picked later. I know this before it gets back to you, but I'm going to go, doesn't have the greatest record at the Masters. He makes a lot of cuts. He's made 10 cuts out of 11 starts. He does have a top 10, but he might be the hottest player in the world right now. So we're going to roll with Mr. Skechers himself. Matty Fitz. I'm going to do my 72-year-old father proud and take the Sketcher man, Matty Fitz.
Good pick. I would probably he wouldn't have got past me. So
I would have left him on the table all day.
Oh yeah, you're taking. I don't know who's left and live to pick.
Formerly on Live.
Oh God,
Jeff, I think you
Brooks-
said something about approach play. Approach play being particularly important.
jeez.
he is
And
good. This year.
putting being sunset this tournament. Not that important. I'm picking another guy with a great winning pedigree. Someone that has been in multiple final rounds here at the Masters. And someone that is a bit hungry himself, I would think, right now for his first W on his illustrious PGA Tour return, and that's Mr. Brooks Koepka.
I saw that coming.
You know, I got to get some bad boys on the team.
You have Bryson and Patrick Reed. What the hell are you talking about? Your whole team is a bunch of a-holes.
Well, I'm kind of in a tough spot here. I'm going to go with one guy that just has never won a major, which I think this is more about he's going to give me a solid finish. He's been playing some of the best golf of his life. I know he's going to make the cut. He's playing too well to miss a cut. His son, I hope he gets it over the water this year. Frankie.
Nico Echevarria? No,
No.
you're not taking him.
Frankie Fleetwood. I'm going to go with Tommy
Yeah,
because
That's what I was down to. Was it him or Fitzy?
he's playing well enough that he's going to get me a cut. I don't know if he can he has the fortitude to get over the finish line with a win. I don't know, but he's playing solid. He's going to make, like I said, he's going to get me money. I don't know what place he can finish at.
I mean, when you think about it, his skill set should be perfect. Great ball striker, good iron, solid wedge player, not a great putter sometimes, but like we've talked about, not always necessary there. Yeah, he should be good. I don't know.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I don't worry about him. He's kind of one of those guys that you just kind of make the pick and you just kind of leave him. You don't really worry about the other guys that you might kind of take a little more of a risk on. He's just not that kind of guy. So I feel really he's like a blanket. I think I'm picking a comfy blanket and Tommy Fleetwood. I need to figure out my next pick because I've got a guy I want. I'm not quite sure on his course history. I don't know if anybody has something pulled up here, but I was just curious. I was not going to go with Goddard. I still don't know if I think he's clearly a lot of fan favorites, or you've heard a lot of going into him. I was actually wondering what finishes that Victor Hovland's had at the Masters.
I got it right here.
Son of a bitch.
Slicky Vic he's made five out of 6 cuts made. His best finish is T7. He averages 72. He's also shot in the 80s before. He's got an 81.
So does Rory. Okay. So does Rory. All right. I don't know. I like Vic. I always find Vic to be a big game hunter. He just shows up in the big games, right?
And he's sneaky. Like he'll play like crap, and then out of nowhere he'll win. Like last year when he won that one event where he'd been playing horrible, and then he just wins.
And I think I'm trying to find him in a place where he can kind of he doesn't have to think too much driver thoughts. He can just kind of let him rip. He's not going to be going off in a bunch of hazards. I don't know. I'm a big Vic guy. I like his demeanor. I like his toughness and his grittiness. Give that to me all day. Give me some Vic Hovland for my 4th pick.
Okay.
We're going back to the bad boys again. Great start to the season. Just fantastic finishes all the way through. It's hard to beat up a bouncer, so Augusta's got no chance against this gentleman. And are there better clubs than PXG out there? There aren't. Boom, baby. We're going Jake Knapp.
I thought about him. His skill set would say good. He's a bomber. He has played there before. Last year he got T55. He made the cut. Haotong is in this tournament. Haotong 2 for 2 on cuts made. It's my turn. Gosh, I have no Americans yet. Jeez. Here, golly. There's something about modern golf. Modern golf would say that lefties now have the advantage at Augusta. There aren't that many that play. But if you think about it, most of these pros hit cuts now. And if you're a lefty, that is the desired shot shape for Augusta. For the righties, it's slinging the draws, on 13, 15, a bunch of these holes. But lefties have a good kind of advantage. Gosh, I should take Hideki, though. Geez, 13 cuts out of 4. I got 2 picks, don't I? Screw it. We're going Big Shot Bob, a lefty, and Hideki. Actually, no, hang on. I want to see what Hideki's done lately.
Hideki's been just kind of there. I don't think he's been missing cuts, but he's just hasn't had much flash in the pan. He's just kind of there.
Hideki this year has 1 top 5, 2 top 10s. He hasn't missed cuts, but he hasn't had a top 10 since Pebble Beach. T21 at Valero. Oh, hang on. Let me go through my list of guys here. That might be my 5th guy. That seems like a pretty solid, safe pick, Hideki, to make the cut and make some money. Yep, that is who we're going to go with. We officially have no Americans on this squad. Jeez. But that's my squad. We're going to go Big Shot Bob and Hideki.
Okay. And Tim, I'm guessing this is your final pick, right? This should be your
Yeah, you guys 5? Got 2. You guys each have 1 left.
Yeah, I ran out of bad boys. So give me Jacob Bridgman.
Excuse me. Excuse me, Tim. You didn't even pick the biggest bad boy in this whole damn tournament.
Sergio.
El Pato.
Gary Player.
El Pato. The guy's been in prison. You got a bunch of fake bad boys. And here we got a real bad boy with prison tats, probably.
You listen to Jeff's stats. He's way too old. Way too old.
You also listen to
the
Jeff
only thing he's stealing. He's not
appearance.
Stealing a victory. He's probably stealing the silverware out of the Augusta clubhouse.
Well, if we're talking about Jeff's stats, I believe this is Jacob Bridgman's first Masters.
Stats don't matter.
All right, you got the Bridgman.
All right, and then I'm just going to go with Mr. Steady. I think he's just a guy that will make the cut. Maybe give me a top 10. I just feel good about him. I'm not going to go Speed.
What a poser he is, Tim. He won't even pick his boy at the one course where he actually plays.
Money is on the line.
He drives me bonkers. He drives me nuts. I'm going to get Mike. Picture me picking him and how angry he would make me.
Yeah, but he's going to look so good in that Under Armour Circle logo hat and that striped shirt. They're going to put him in the same one he wore when he won in like 2000, whatever it was, 16.
I'm going to go with another guy, just pretty steady. He likes this golf course, plays well here, Corey Connors.
Yeah, I thought about taking him fairly early, like 3rd round. He always plays pretty well there. Yeah. But again, he's got the shot shape. He's a natural drawer of the ball. Just sling it around those corners. That's right. Who are the other lefties? You got
Akshay is probably
Akshay and Big Shot Bob. Because you think about it, that is, for the preferred fader.
Well, you got Bubba.
Yeah, you didn't take Bubba, 2-time defending, 2-time champion, Tim, live guy.
He's out of the age stats. What can I say?
Form. He's showing great form. But yeah, I mean, the lefties hit the cut now. And although Akshay doesn't even drive that, Akshay can get really erratic. He might miss some of the fairways at Augusta even. But yeah, that's we got a good line. We got good lineups here.
Yeah, so we'll track that and get back to the next time we get on the podcast. We will see who our champion is.
So we just did our picks for players. I've got a bigger question. Rory unveiled one of the most extensive wine lists seen at one of these dinners. Bottles upwards of $3,000 to $4,000 each. And obviously, the host, the former winner, pays for the dinner. I'm wondering what you guys would have on your winner's dinner.
Let's see.
Boone's Farm? Is Boone's Farm?
I was going to say.
Not the wine. Not the wine. I know that neither one of you are bringing the wine.
You can get wine at Trader Joe's for $10. That'd be just as good as the $3,000 wine. It's all alcohol. You just pound it. I don't get these people who the hell? Like, let's be honest here. Who the hell shoves their nose into a glass and swirls it around their mouth? The wine drinking stuff. I'm sure I might have some people that will disagree with me on this. Is one of the dumbest things in the world. It's so
a form of art.
It's not art. Drink the alcohol. Jeez, you're a softie if you got to swish it around. Like, I could drink a whole bottle before some of these weirdos on TV drink 2 sips. Like, it's just so weird. I don't get it. Just drink the damn
humble
stuff.
brag, Mike. Humble brag right
Well, like,
there.
Wow.
Not even a brag. It's just silly. I watched a show the other night about this. It was some expert. He took 2 drinks of wine in about 20 minutes. I mean, swirling it around in the glass, swirling it in his mouth, spinning it back out. It was the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Well, that's a sommelier. He's trying to pick up the flavor notes in it. The purpose isn't to get drunk. Listen, I'm on board with you. I get it, Mike. I'm on your team on some of these things. I don't think I'm spending the $5,000 on a bottle of Rothschild Bordeaux. But this isn't necessarily about the wine. It's more about your food menu.
I got one, Jeff. You go first. I got one.
Go ahead.
Well, when I win the Masters in a couple of years here, after I win the U.S. Public Links, I get in and shock the world. I think we bring a little Minnesota flair and we go tater tot hot dish. Tater tot hot dish. What else would we go? What would be a good side? What's a good side out of Minnesota? Wild rice something? I don't know. Or scalloped potatoes or something? I don't know. And then we top it all off with Jeff and I's favorite, a little DQ Blizzard. Those boys. I don't know if those boys at those fancy guys have ever had a. What if we can't DQ cater the dessert? Just come in with a bunch of Oreo Blizzards.
It's a full pint of Tom and Jerry's in the back of a van.
Yeah, forget that. Forget that peach ice cream sandwich that they all love. We're just bringing in just straight up Blizzards.
Yeah, I would be in, Mike.
I would probably have to add, there's a first course and a second course. We'd probably put in the greatest fast food ever, the Taco Bell quesadilla. What do you think those other pros would? What would the pros do if somebody came? Well, I guess it happens when those college teams that win titles, they go to the White House, they get McDonald's now, like a bunch of weirdos, but that's what the White House serves, McDonald's. But like, what would the pros do if you showed up and you won and your entire menu was just like fast food items and shit like that, like Big Macs and Taco Bell quesadillas?
I'm sure you'd shock the world.
Well, especially if you don't have a lot of money, you got to find some cheap.
You'd shock some toilets in
Oh, the Mexican place from Albert Lee.
We did it, Jeff. Not to get a tough topic. After going to Iowa a few weeks ago, Tim and I decided we got third time's the charm. We're trying our Mexican place again, and we made it home in one piece this time.
So, did they just improve the ingredients? I mean,
I don't know. Who knows what's in it? It's the only store literally open almost in the whole mall. Is this one Mexican?
That and a Dunham Sports. So who knows where the kitchen is?
Oh, funny. Well, I would say I'm not, I'm not a food connoisseur. I'm not like a picky food guy. I love me some sort of meat. You can, whether you want to throw a burger out there, steak out there, I'd eat it all. I was a big kid not big kid. I was a big fan of manicotti when I was younger. So a good chunk of nice meat sauce inside some manicotti, so I could eat a manicotti would be good. What else? Some just good salty green beans.
Salty green beans.
Just a little mix, this little salt and pepper on there would be good. Little, I don't know. That's.
Tim, can you?
I'd actually take a while to think about this one because this is not my cup of tea.
Tim, can you picture this? You got this big table at Augusta. All these guys are having a good time, eating, talking, chumming it up. And Jeff has eaten his entire plate before anybody even gets to their second bite. And he's just like, oh, I guess dinner's over. Just gets up and leaves. The defending champ just eats everything before any other courses even get out there. The fastest eater on the history of the planet.
And there it goes all over the patio.
Just throwing up at the champions dinner.
I get done early. I go start chipping and putting, getting ready for the tournament.
Oh my God!
At least no one's getting sick off your food over there because we're going a little sparkling champagne to start with oysters, Mike. Your favorite. Oh,
give the guys a bunch of loogies before they play a big tournament. That's great.
Then we're switching into probably a Caesar salad, real anchovies, and a chicken wild rice soup. before
Well,
the
there
main
you go.
course, which is either a beautiful Wagyu ribeye or a petite filet, any ounce style you want. Nothing over medium. Pair that with a good baked potato with any topping, and finish with a creme brulee with a brandy.
Tim, I feel like you've thought about this before.
Yeah.
I mean,
why,
if I could go out to dinner
why
like
the hell
that
did
every
you have
night,
that,
I
like,
would.
Why the hell did you have that memorized?
That's if given the chance, that's what I'd order anywhere I went.
When Tim takes too much melatonin, he just dreams about hosting the champions dinner. It's not even about winning the tournament; it's all about the champions dinner.
Yeah, that's a little creepy, Tim. You had that dialed up, like.
Lots of thinking.
Well, the boys are in a tournament this weekend. Enough of the Augusta. We are playing a little best ball. Tim and Mike are partnering up. I'm partnering up with a buddy.
It's an away game for Tim and I at Jeff. We're going into the triangle against two Monticello boys.
We might have to have a side bet. We have to have a side bet. I think that'd be a fun little side bet.
If any listeners are local and you don't want to watch, you want to watch better golf than the Masters, come watch the boys at Monticello in the wind.
Yeah, little two-man best ball. I think it's straight up. There might be a side net.
You know what I got here, boys?
I
got
a
little
know,
something for that two-man best ball, and it's another cashmere cardigan in beautiful green. I'm going to be ready to go in those cold winter temps.
Is that what you're wearing that, huh? You've already
I think I'm going to go all black villain mode, just like my picks, and then throw on this nice green cardigan to go with the Masters theme. Since
you were my teammate, I'm less concerned with what you're wearing and more concerned with what your ball does in the wind. That's
I played in 30-mile-per-hour winds at Royal New Kent. Did perfectly fine. We got the driver a little bit more figured out here, Mike. We're gonna be.
Royal okay. It looks pretty good all the time when I see it.
Oh, it was. They're kind of in a little bit of a drought in their spring right now, so it played very firm. It needs a little bit of water some places, but it's less than $100 for a top 100 public course and a top 50 hardest course. And it is as Strance gets for wide fairways, crazy designs, big carries, huge features. Would highly recommend if you're out in the Williamsburg, Virginia area or the Richmond, Virginia area. Royal New Kent is awesome.
Sweet.
All right. Well, we might actually do another podcast this week, kind of halfway through the Masters, and just chat what we've been seeing for rounds 1 and 2, Thursday and Friday's rounds. What do you guys say?
Yep, I'm all about it.
I love talking Masters and watching the Masters. I think it'd be a fun way to mix it up a little bit.
And the thing with the Masters is it's all the holes. That's like the one. There's a history on all these holes, and that's cool. Oh, by the way, for people, they're doing 5 shows this year. They always do their special like hour-long things, on CBS. Or they're doing a Jack for it's the 40th anniversary of the '86 win. They're doing a Rory one from last year. And they're doing like 3 other ones. They're doing a whole bunch of like special shows. Did you guys watch the Rory documentary on Prime?
I did. Good stuff.
It's pretty good.
Halfway through.
I thought it was solid.
Isn't Masters on a little bit on Prime this year?
It is Thursday and Friday. Yep. So I did an article on kind of how to watch it. So it's like Thursday, Friday is a mix of ESPN Plus, Amazon Prime, and then on the weekend it goes to CBS for most of it, and Paramount is the app on the weekend, the streaming app. Yeah, and then of course the Masters app is like the greatest app in the history of sports.
That it is. I'll get that download on your phone.
I just re-downloaded mine today. We got any other Masters tidbits or anything? I'm trying to think of any other good stories. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess Morikawa tee it up. Would Rory be free now that he's won? And it's like I don't care if now I can just play without.
Yeah, maybe there is a chance that Rory, really plays well there again. And the other thing, Scotty hasn't played well. Hasn't played a baby.
Yeah,
I think his last 3 times was he outside the top 10 like 3 times in a row or something like that. Now he has not played. For him, that is not very good. for what he's been. So he's kind of searching for it. Let me look it up, Scotty. He's searching a bit. But that being said, he could win going away. His game fits the course pretty well. His last 3 events. Yeah, he is not top 10 since Pebble Beach. He had all those weeks in a row, and he went T22, T24, and T12 his last 3 events. So he is not, by his standards, not playing very well. But I would be shocked, would you not, if he doesn't at least top 10 at Augusta with his skill sets and everything? I'd be shocked.
You can't doubt him all. You can't count him out.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I'd assume he's just been working his butt off back home to get ready.
But as we talked about, the iron play hasn't been there, right? So when he's clearly above everybody in hitting an iron shot, where that is going to be a huge part of it. He has a great short game. He can get bailed out a lot with his short game, but that's kind of what really separated him. And he hasn't had that separation, so he's kind of like a normal professional golfer now. He's good. He's just not elite.
Yeah, and I think this golf course, because of all the shave down things in the runoffs, if you're not hitting irons well, it puts so much pressure. Think of Bryson last year. The Saturday round, he didn't play great, but he got up and down from everywhere. Remember that? He was getting up and down from all over the place. You can only do that so long at Augusta. Sunday,
Scotty is that guy, though. Scotty has some of the best chipping stats on the tour right now.
But then Sunday when Bryson was hitting the hard post, he couldn't do it. You can't live off of that at Augusta. You got to be hitting it pretty good. But I don't know. I mean, Tim's right. I'm sure he's been grinding his ass. He's a competitor. He's not happy with the last 3 events where he didn't finish top 10. So, I don't know if we have any other.
Well, if you've been listening to us this long, Mike, where are we going Sunday? Do we figure out a place if you want to come visit Break 80, watch the Masters? Is it?
No, but we should. We'll post stuff on social media. No, my house, no. Well, I was thinking a bar or something, but we'll have to find somewhere to go. We'll post it. I have one more thing for you. I actually heard this on Shotgun Start brought this up, and it's a great point. Michael Lasasso is not playing. He could have played because he won the NCAA championship last year, but he went to live, so he turned pro, so he's not playing. So they had an open spot. Jackson Koivin won again this week. He's won 4 of his last 5. He's easily the number 1 amateur in the world. It's not even close. They could have given him an exemption. They don't like to do that you have to win these events, but they have in the past given exemptions just to amateurs that are really good. They've done it before. They could have given Jackson Koivin that exemption because that spot was open. Well, they had to break protocol, but that would have been cool to have him in the Masters because he's been hotter than hot in college golf this year. He's won everything.
Do you have a call on who will get low amateur at all? I know Mason Howell's in there. I think Mason Howell's probably the most well-known.
I would actually. There's only a few amateurs, right? There are. Let's see. Here's your amateurs in the field. I want this app. Come on, app. There we go. Ethan Fang, Jackson Harrington, Brandon Holtz, who's the insurance guy that won the Mid-Am, Mason Howell, FIFA Lepakdi, something from Asia, and Matko Pulsini from Argentina. I'm actually going to go Ethan Fang winning the as Low-Am. What did he win? He won the British Amateur at Royal St. George's. He also was a first-team All-American last year at Oklahoma State. They won the Division I tournament. He was runner-up at the Western Am. He played at Royal Portrush in the Open. He played in the Arnold Palmer Cup, the Walker Cup. He's played a lot of big events. The other guys have not played. Mason Howell's played the Walker Cup too, but he's got the most extensive background, I think, of all these guys. I don't know if any of them if you asked me, if I had to bet, I would say none of them make the cut. But if I had to pick one, I'm going to go Ethan Fang. Mason Howell's still in high school.
Yeah,
he's a high school senior.
That's the guy I kind of knew. He played well in the Am last year. So
yeah, which is cool. Can you imagine being a high schooler and playing in the Masters?
So sick.
Absolutely insane. Man, that guy, if that guy doesn't get the ladies when he gets back, I know golf's not cool with the kids all the time, but holy cow. That guy better have a hell of a prom date this spring.
All right. Anything else, Timmy?
As Sean Connery once famously said in The Rock. No, I'm not gonna say that whole statement because it's got some swear words in it.
I guess we're not explicit anymore on the show, but hey, Saturday's bringing the pimento cheese sandwiches for you boys, and looking forward to a cold round of golf here in the great state of Minnesota.
Can I put in a request for a pulled pork sandwich instead of pimento cheese?
No, we don't take requests here.
Word on the ground at Augusta is the pulled pork is better than the pimento cheese.
You want a mint julep and a pimento cheese sandwich?
No, I'm going to make a bold assertion here. Both of those are over. Those are the two of the most overrated things in sports. The mint julep at Kentucky Derby. I've had a mint julep. Terrible. I would rather have a Kentucky nip. Remember those, Jeff?
Oh yeah.
I think Tim is too young. Remember Kentucky nip?
Yes.
It was kind of like Sioux City sarsaparilla in the bottles when we were kids.
Yeah,
remember that one?
I remember that. Yeah.
But I think I don't know what the third or fourth would be, but definitely the mint julep overrated and pimento cheese sandwich overrated. Although I will say the pimento cheese that we had at somewhere in North Carolina on that trip was amazing. That was good pimento cheese. I can't remember where it was, but
well, Jeff, more for you.
Tim, I'll have one for sure. I'll have one.
There we go.
All right. Well, thanks for listening. Enjoy the Masters. We might do a little mid-round recap. Hopefully you can tune into that as well. And with that being said, let's get it. Masters Week. Thanks you for tuning in. Difference between 79 and 80 is everything.